In our introduction to computer programming of our previous class, we have tried to look at how we will be able to use our Java operators in our day-to-day programming skills. And today in this class, we are going to show you how you can be able to use your input as scanner package, or how you can be able to accept input from a user. You see, in our previous class, we tried to use what? Data variable declaration and initialization in order to see how we can be able to compute our what? Our given two values of each variable. But in today's class, we are going to see how we can be able to use this input scanner method to accept user of a given variable, or input from a given variable, or input of a given value from a user. This is what we are going to use in today's class. Follow me as I lead you through your practical guide. So, well, you see, in our previous class, we have seen how operators work in Java. And you remember, we are still using Eclipse IDE. So today we are going to look at, as we explained in the first or in the interim of this class, we are going to look at how we are going to use a scanner object in order to accept input from the user, just in contemporary of how we used or defined our input from the declaration of from the variable. So this time around, we are going to use a scanner object in order to accept this, and especially we are going to use this scanner input in order to at least welcome somebody, like that person would enter his name, and then the system will now welcome him, or will now say hello. So this is what we are going to do. We are first of all going to back to our source as usual, move to new, try to create a screen, a class, and the name of our class, we might decide to use input scanner or input user. Yes, this is the name of our class. So, and then this is the package. We don't have any problem with it, but here we are going to import our Java util scanner package. It's a library or a package that you must import it for you to be able to use your input statement. Remember, you have your input output already. We have been dealing with the output, but this time around for the input, you must import that package. Import java.utility or util.scanner, then you have your semicolon. So you have to import this. So we are coming back to this and then do our normal public static void main method. We have our string arguments as usual. So we open and close our curly braces. So this time around, we are going to, in the first program that we are dealing with, we don't have anything to do with like we just try to use a statement, the printout function, just to display something. And in the subsequent programming that we did for the logical operations, we just try to declare the variables here. So the same thing, we are going to declare the variable here, but here we are declaring a variable in order to tell the system that we want to we want to create a new object, and that object will be able to accept input from the user. So this is going to be a scanner, then input is our variable name, input is our variable name, then it's going to be new scanner object, is going to be new scanner, and this, instead of holding like empty, then it will be system in, that's dot in, is going to be an input, right? So it's also a statement because it's a declaration. So also we are going to have now, like we want to display something else on a screen, like please enter your name, or what is your name, right? Or enter your name, something like that. So for that purpose, we want to use system.out.print, right? So we are going to use double quote to say what is your name, what is your name, what is your name. So this is what you want to type in inside the system. So it means if we run this very program, the program might be able to display what is your name. This system.out.print, there is issue here. Print. So we debug this. So if we run this, we know this is what we are going to have. Are we together? So this is what we are going to have. But definitely, if we write something like this, it is not even accepting, right? You see, it is not even accepting. I have been typing. So what we are coming back to do here is like, we are now coming back to declare now. We are declaring the input. So what input are you declaring? So we want to declare that as with a string. String, the name of the variable is going to be name, and it's going to what? We are going to use input dot next line. So this next line is like you are now telling the system to contain to accept a user, to accept input from the user. This is what you are telling it, and that acceptance, or that input that is going to accept, it's going to be a string. Are we together? So if we still run this, let's see what's happened. So it means we can be able to type, right? You see, we have been typing now, Bamanga. So but the first one we are not typing, right? So we type, hit our enter, and nothing happened, isn't it? So what if we try to have something like this time around? We want to display the content of what we are writing on the screen. Let's say we are going to use the same system dot out dot print next line. So what are we having here is like we are going to we are going to have a name called hello. Let's see, it's going to be a string hello, or we say comma, we have a space, then we have a concatenation symbol, and it's going to be what? The name of this variable. The variable name is going to be what? Name, right? Name. How do you see it? So we have this. So if we now run this again, it's going to be like this. We now type Bamanga, hit our enter, you see hello Bamanga. So how do you see this? It's impressive, right? So if we might decide to say Mr. Bamanga, we decide to use this again. We have another string. Mr. Bamanga, welcome. You are welcome to Java programming class. And fine, we run this. So we might decide to use, instead of having the Bamanga, I might decide to have Mahmoud. Enter. You see, Mr. Mahmoud, you are welcome to this. So the issue here, we did not create a space here. Let's run it again and see. Let's say Ahmad this time around. So you see, Mr. Ahmad, you are welcome to this. So if you want to have you have to have a comma here again, we might decide to run it again. We have Bamanga again. So we run this also. So you see now, Bamanga, enter. So you see now, Mr. Bamanga, you are welcome to Java programming class. Fantastic, right? So this is how you are going to use your scanner method in order to accept input from the user. So we want to have this, we want to use or utilize this scanner object in order to use our arithmetic operation. We carried out arithmetic operations using our input scanner. You know, in our arithmetic operation, we have tried to multiply, add, subtract, divide, and find the modulus of two different variables of x and y. So we want a situation whereby these variables is going to be entered by the user. So we are going to save this, come back to this source, new, we move to our class. So we try to have input two variables. Let's say input two variables is the name of my class. Okay. So we have this. We are going to first of all, we are going to import our class, import our Java utility scanner. We have our import Java dot utility util dot scanner, right? So we are coming back to this, and then we type our public. We want to have an entry point to our program: public static void main string out. We'll open and close our curly braces. So we want to have the same thing as we did that one. So we are declaring our scanner input as telling the system that whatever we are imputing should serve as an input as new scanner dot system, or open bracket system dot input. So we end this statement. So we are going to take input from the user. That's enter first value, enter second value of enter X and enter Y. So we are going to use the same system dot out dot print statement. System dot out dot print So we are going to have enter the value of X. Sorry, this should be inside a double quote. Enter the value of X, right? So, and that's all. So we are ending this statement. So we are going to declare that, in declaring these two values, we just declare them right after the entry of that's declaring the main method of the program. So this time around, after we have declared this is almost the same thing. The only thing we have added is this two line. It's just this two line that we have added. So, and then we are going to have this as integers, just as our normal integer X is equals to what? We have assigned value after declaring X as a variable. So we have decided to type 10, right? This is what we did. But this time around, we are declaring that anything that a user inserted, it should be able to accept it. So we are going to use input dot next line, input or next line. Anything user inserted, it should be able to accept it. What is the problem here? There must be an issue. Input integer input dot. What is the problem? Something went wrong. And what is that? Type mismatch. So what does that thing that we had as mismatch here? What is it? Impute. So this impute, this is input. Next line, also next line. So you see the problem now is what? Next int, please. It's not next because it's accepting integer. It should be next int, and that int should be what? Capital int. So that's it. So we have fixed this also. So we are going to take the second one also. So in this case, let's just try to just copy this. Instead of copying, we copy this also. We are going to insert it here. So enter the value of Y. Now Y is equals to next int, right? So this is what? This is what the two variables, isn't it? So if we run this, we can be able to see the impact here. We run this and we see enter the value of x. If we say 10, enter y 5, but what, there is no result. Now we need to perform the operations whatsoever we want to perform. Now this is what we want to what we'll do here. So we are going to use our system.out.print next line. So open and close bracket. We are going to have the normal code, right? The sum of x and y, isn't it, is equals to what? Is equals to, it should be so there is something here. If the same thing, just as we did that of arithmetic operation, if we want, we can come back to this very portion and then define the sum, the whatsoever here. But if we want to have it here, we can set x plus y, and that's all. That's all. We are done here. So we run this and it's going to give us, enter the value of x is 10, enter the value of y is 5, and the sum of x and y is equals to 15. So you see it here. So if you don't like here, so you can come back to this and then do everything just the way we did that of arithmetic operation, and our arithmetic operation is here, as you can see it, just the way you did that of arithmetic operation here. So the same thing, you can be able to do it, but this is not what we are after here. So we are after writing everything from the scratch. So let's say we have this one as what, the product, right? The product of x and y is, let's say we have this. So this time around, the division of x and y with the subtraction of x and y. Then the last one is the modulus. The modulus or modular or module of x and y is equals to. So we run this now. Let's see the impact. Enter the value of x, we said 10. Enter the value of y, we said 5. So you see the sum of x and y is 15, the product of x and y is 50, the division of x and y is 2, the subtraction of x and y is 5, the modulus of x and y is what? Is 0. So this is how you go about using your what? Input statement to sum of a given number. So you can also use this to all the geometric expression, or all the geometric formula. At least you can be able to use this input scanner. Even without the input scanner, try to use them at least, or see how you can be able to perfect the calculations of all your arithmetics operation or all your computational outcome. So this is how you'll be able to use this. Thank you for being with us this moment. Remain blessed.